So I woke up super early this morning, and like 4:50, and I went downstairs to use the bathroom, and my partner Trevor was still awake, and immediately I just sat on the couch half asleep, and immediately just all these downloads for both of us started coming in, and we started pulling strings off of each other's thoughts, and that happens with us sometimes. But this morning it was profound, and I don't know if anyone else, say it in the comments if you're experiencing this. Um, but I'm realizing that the program of Erin is beginning to dissolve. And what I mean by that is my memories and my experiences, I still remember them, of course. I still know they happened, and I still know I'm this person that was named Erin who was born here and all that. I remember my program, but my attachment to it is dissolving. The emotions that I had to it, like, the traumatizations or the happy moments, or it's just the tie to those things seems to be dissolving. And this new identity, if you will, you could call it an identity, because people think that the point of being here is to get rid of the ego, and that's not right. It's to observe the ego in a way where you aren't the ego, and that you can choose the ego, and that you have control over it. So Erin didn't have control over her ego. Erin was emotional and traumatized and trapped within self-centered program, really. Everything was about me. If somebody was mad, it was because of me. If somebody was if somebody figured something out that was great when we were talking, it was because of me, right? It's like this self-centered kind of way, and that's what the ego does when we aren't aware of it, and we believe everything else is happening to us rather than we are creating things, right? That's an untamed ego. That is an ego that is unobserved. It's just running its own program with no driver. So that ego believed that the traumatic events that happened to me in my life were not in my control, and they had nothing to do with me, and I was a victim to these things. And that I was a victim all through life. I'm a victim to economy, I'm a victim to government, I'm a victim to all these things. I'm a victim to my body, I'm a victim to food that I eat. But that is all dissolving because I'm emerging into this other ego that I am consciously observing and choosing. Like, this is the ego that I want here. This is what I want to believe. Like, I am seeing this and saying, this ego is a creator. This ego is present. This ego, and I'm able to observe this ego. And through that, there's this whole paradigm shift that's happening where the world doesn't look the same anymore. And when we do that, when we willfully and purposefully change our ego, which was what we're doing, is changing our perception point, right? It's the part of us that connects us energetically to which realm we choose. Let me explain that better. We choose a perception, right? We have a perception. When we're aware of our perceptions, we choose them. So I have chosen in my life up until now to see this world as something that is happening to me all this time. That is the perception lens that I saw the world through, meaning I energetically connected my energy, my awareness, to a realm of more negative density and victimhood, and that's the lens I saw everything through. You know, if I went grocery shopping and dropped all my bags and everything spilled everywhere, that was, I was a victim. This happened because the world is just mean and it's just doing this thing to me and life sucks, and that's the perception point that I connected to. So that's the ego. That's the program that creates in the ego. But if I'm shifting my program, and if I'm shifting my perception lens, then I am literally shifting the energetic thread, if you will, the wire, to which reality, to which perception, to which realm I want. So if I'm connecting it, and this is also ego death, this is also very much what we go through, because I went through an immense ego death. I mean, it was years. It was what I describe as an abyss. It was a complete abyss. I had no grounding or connection to anything anymore. I didn't have, I still had ego, of course, but I could not find I could not find the comfort in the subconscious of that ego any longer. It emerged, and I was conscious of everything I did. And again, I still had perceptions. I still saw everything as negative and happening to me, and that I was a victim and I was traumatized. However, I was so conscious that I had these perceptions that there was no comfort. There was no veil. There was no delusion that I could just settle into this, if that makes sense. So therefore, it felt like a void. My feet were not connected in any way to this former signature life ego story, the story of Aaron. There was no grounding into it. I couldn't ground if I even wanted to. I really tried to ground back into that, and I couldn't. And this was as well as all my good experiences too. I couldn't ground. I couldn't find that euphoria I had when I looked at the trees. I couldn't find the boost, you know, when you did something you were proud of, or if you like wore a certain outfit and you had certain makeup on and you got this kind of like boost in you, like, yeah, this is what I look like right now. I couldn't even find that. I couldn't find, you know, when you're trying to act cool in front of somebody, or you're trying to like, you know, whatever. I couldn't even find that. I couldn't do it. I tried. I couldn't do it. I couldn't manipulate my hormones in this way anymore. So this went on for years and years and years. And now it's now that I'm finally willing, with my conscious mind, to let go of that. Because I went from the observing stage to the letting go stage, you know. And now I'm there. I'm letting go, and like this whole new world is emerging, and it's like I'm watching this new timeline emerge. Like I'm watching my essence step into this this other woman, and that is not a victim of circumstance, and doesn't see the world in that way, and isn't doesn't need to manipulate my hormones through, you know, drugs or chemicals or, you know, substances. And if I do choose to, it's conscious. It's like if I want to drink coffee, then it's to get this effect, and I'm not dependent on it, because I can create what coffee gives me within my own mind, you know, because I am a creator. And there's just so much there. I could keep going on and on, but let me know in the comments if you've been feeling this, or if this has been happening for you. I'd love to hear.